When I was 17 years old, my family had taken a trip to see other family members around Thanksgiving, and I didn't go with them because I had a fear of flying at the time. At the time, 9/11 had just happened a few years ago, and then earlier that year, Columbia had exploded on landing, and I just got a huge fear of flying after all those events. So my parents and my brother, he was 4 years old at the time, left for a short vacation Thanksgiving, and I stayed home. And around the same time, I started to eat healthier. The first thing I did was to stop consuming all sugar from all foods. I would read labels and even things that had sugar as an ingredient. For example, I would read the ingredients, and if it had added sugar or high fructose corn syrup, I wouldn't eat it. And it drove my parents nuts. My parents are very good about cooking from scratch, so it didn't affect what they would cook for me, but we would go out and I wouldn't go to the restaurants with them, and my mom initially thought it cut into our social time, but then she realized that I was much more sociable after starting the diet, so she realized it was a good trade-off. So that's good. The problem is at the time I followed the standard advice of portion control, and it kind of backfired on me. Because what had happened was Thanksgiving night, or actually it was the night after Thanksgiving, because obviously I know the stores were open that day. I had eaten a few more calories than I thought I should have, and I thought I had already blown it. And then I thought, because I had been practicing portion control for some time, and now I felt really deprived, and I thought, oh my God, I might as well eat everything that I want to eat tonight because I've already blown it. So I went back to the grocery store and I got a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and I got some coconut oil, and I made some French fries, homemade recipe, and I ate it all. 10 pounds of potatoes. And I felt really guilty after that because now I've really blown it. And, I was only supposed to eat 3,000 calories, and now I'm up to 10. And so I go out and get some more food because I felt like I really had blown it. I better eat everything I've ever wanted tonight. Tonight's the night to do it. And so I went out and get some more food, and I wolfed it all down. Now I really, really, really feel guilty, and now I kind of wanted to eat myself to death at this point because I felt like an utter failure. I was the only member in our family who suffered from autism, which kind of was the driving factor behind why I wanted to stop consuming sugar. I was overweight, and I felt like an utter failure. I at this point I had never had a serious girlfriend. And so I decided I wanted to eat myself to death, because and I felt really depressed on not being able to go on this vacation with my family. I got a really serious fear of flying, especially after 9/11 and Columbia, and I didn't go with my family, and I felt like I was never going to see anything again because I really didn't feel I would ever fly again. I remember at the time, 3 of my grandparents were still alive, and they were living in Taiwan. And they were all very elderly, obviously. Most people think of grandparents as, they still having some time to go. But my family's generation, all of them had children in their 30s. So my grandparents were pretty old by the time I was 17. And my mom said, well, you have to go to Taiwan at least 3 times. I said, why? And my mom said, don't you feel it's your obligation to attend their funerals at least? And it scared the crap out of me. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to ever go to Taiwan. I remember thinking one day we might have a bridge over the Bering Strait, and then I could drive to Taiwan. That was probably the only way I was ever going to go to Taiwan. Well, 17 years later, we still don't have it. So I guess that hasn't worked out very well. But I am so glad I didn't kill myself with food that night because since then I've gotten over my fear of flying, and I've tried other new foods that I enjoy. And part of the reason I don't watch my calories as much as I do the ingredients is I know that it will backfire on me. By not worrying about calories and just eating healthy, I've since avoided other bad ingredients besides sugar. Trans fat was early on my list. It's been banned in the United States now, so it's one less thing I have to worry about. And then MSG, and some other things. So I hate to say more because some of these ingredients are very political in nature. So, but I learned early on if I watch my calories, it will backfire. It was kind of like a pressure cooker bomb. I kept holding in the pressure, portion control, kaboom. The portion control has that kind of a flavor to me. Watching the ingredients hasn't had that effect on me. Probably because, you have to eat. And at some point, you have to draw a line in the sand. With the ingredients, I never had to do that. It was, this isn't food to me anymore. It highlights that you have to know what works for you. And I know this is how I behave toward food, and it has worked for me. Some people might have the other approach, right? And it works for them. But some people, they don't know what works for them. Because I hear people tell me that, they only drink soda in moderation. Then I look at them and they're, how's your moderation working for you? You're overweight. You crave soda all the time. You're controlling your soda. You spend a lot of energy. You want a soda, but you don't drink it. You spend a lot of mental willpower. And it's like, you don't know what's working for you. So I encourage you to evaluate what you are doing. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing, but you got to evaluate what you're doing and how the results are working for you. Thanks for watching.